In the far reaches of the Andromeda Verge, aboard the drifting medical frigate Solace 9, war was a distant memory. At least that's what they told themselves. The war with the Zerks, the apex predators of the galactic rim, had ended 5 years ago. Treaties were signed, systems divided, and borders drawn. But the fear never faded. The Zerks were bred to kill, towering, armored, savage. They didn't just conquer, they hunted. And they didn't forget. Captain Riene Voss had seen what they could do. Her scars told the story, long, pale lines carved from shoulder to thigh. A gift from a Zerks warrior who tore through her battalion on Arca IV. She survived only because she played dead. She hadn't seen his face, but she'd never forgotten his voice, guttural and cold, promising, "We will return." Now, years later, Riene served as chief of trauma medicine aboard Solace 9, far from the front lines, far from death. Or so she thought. One storm-drenched night in deep space, the beacon lit up. A transport ship, badly damaged, limped into range, broadcasting an encrypted SOS. The cargo, classified, the passenger. A single occupant in critical condition. When the loading doors hissed open, the smell of blood and ozone hit first. Then the stretcher came through, wheeled in by 2 armored medics. Lying on it, barely breathing, was a Zerks. Riene froze. 8 feet tall, weighed down by organic armor, tusks split with plasma scars. His breathing rasped, thick with blood. His hands were bound in phase locks, but even unconscious, he radiated danger. Dr. Yalti, the alien veterinarian from the Kasari sector, leaned toward her. "He's different. He hates everyone, but for some reason he only trusts humans, scarred ones like you." Riene turned sharply. "What does that mean?" "I mean when he woke during the jump." He tore through 3 guards, and then he saw a scarred technician. He stopped, knelt, said nothing, then passed out again. Against her instincts, Riene stepped closer. The warrior's chest rose and fell in shallow rhythm. One arm was shredded, cauterized. Internal organs were failing. She cursed quietly, then barked orders. "Prep surgery. I want a full bioscan. Keep the binders on. I'll lead the operation." No one argued. The surgery lasted 6 hours. Alien anatomy wasn't her specialty, but instinct took over. The warrior's blood, dark violet, thick as oil, coated her arms. She moved fast, cleaned the wounds, grafted flesh, reconnected torn vessels. And the entire time he remained unconscious, until the final suture. He opened one eye, a pale, reptilian orb fixed on hers. Riene flinched. Then steadied. "You're going to live, you're on Solace 9, don't try anything, you're still bound." The warrior's mouth twitched. He rasped out words in broken galactic common. "You survived," her breath caught. "Arca IV," he continued. "I saw you, the dead one who breathed." She stepped back. "That was you," he nodded. "Did not kill you, could have, didn't." "Why? Scars, we do not waste scars, they are stories. You earned yours." Over the next few days, the warrior remained in the recovery bay. His name, as best she could pronounce it, was Karanek, though he told her to call him Ren. She didn't trust him. But something in his quiet, steady gaze haunted her. He wasn't just a killer. He remembered every life he'd touched, saved, or destroyed, and for some reason he remembered her. As the days turned into weeks, they spoke more. He told her of the purge on Zerks Prime, where his own kind turned on him for refusing to hunt civilians. He'd fled, branded a traitor, carrying secrets that could end the fragile peace. That was why he'd been hunted, why his ship was shot down. "I came to warn your people," he said one night. "The others, they're coming. The treaty was a lie. They used it to rebuild." Riene's stomach twisted. "You're serious?" "I was one of their generals. I know how they think. They'll strike your core worlds, soon." The fleet refused to listen. When Riene brought Ren's words to the command, she was dismissed, branded paranoid, even unstable. "A war criminal's delusion," they said. But then the attacks began. First a colony on Duran's moon. Then the station at Arcot Ring. No survivors, no warning, just destruction. Riene stood in the command center of Solace 9 and turned to Ren. "You were right," he met her eyes. "I hoped I was wrong." They made a choice together, no more waiting. They would act. Solace 9 had a hidden data core, ancient tech from the Kairos civilization capable of transmitting a galactic-wide warning. But it required a manual key located deep within Zerk's space. A suicide mission. She volunteered. He insisted on going too. Their journey was chaos. They commandeered an old stealth frigate, battled through Zerk's raiders, hid inside asteroid belts, and crashed once on a rogue planet. Along the way, something shifted. She stopped seeing him as a monster. He stopped calling her soft one. Their bond deepened, not just forged in survival, but in quiet moments. Sharing food in silence. Her reading him poetry from old Earth. his stories of a childhood under twin suns, her hand brushing his when he was injured, his palm resting on hers when the cold of space became too much. They reached the tower on Vectharn, the heart of the old network, but it was already under siege. The Xerx elite knew what they were doing. Rene and Ren fought side by side through the ruins, blasters, blades, blood. He moved like a living storm. She fought like a ghost of her former self. Together they reached the central core. Ren was hit in the final push, pierced through the chest by a plasma javelin. He fell to one knee. "Go," he growled. "End it." She hesitated, tears in her eyes. "Not without you. You already carry my scars." She kissed him, forehead to forehead. Then she activated the beacon. The signal surged across the stars, warning every colony, every fleet. The Xerxes' ambush was no longer secret. The galaxy rallied, forces united. The war didn't end that day, but it changed. Ren survived, barely. Months later, after the tide had turned, Rene sat with him in a quiet chamber on the edge of the Persean cloud. He had new scars now, hers among them, and hers, well, her soul bore his. She reached for his hand. He took it. "You're still hated by most," she said, smiling faintly. "And still," he answered, "only you do I trust." They looked to the stars together, not as predator and prey, but as something new, something that just might save the galaxy. Together,